Right, let's get into the front pages. We have joining us Mr. Ayo Akeria, who is a member Nigerian Guild of Editors. Joins us live from our Abuja studio. Mr. Akeria, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, Kayode. Good morning, Bukola, Geoffrey. It's a pleasure.
Well, let's start off with the Vanguard newspaper, Mr. Akeria. Vanguard leads with just killings. Tinubu, Mutfwang, NBA vow justice. Plateau won't bow to terror, Mutfwang declares. Confirms 28 killed in gunman attack on Angwan Rukuba. Enough is enough. Atiku, Obi, Kwankwaso demand action. Now you have the NBA in the fray. Because this is primarily also about justice. Yes, security, but there's the justice bit of it. Mr. Akeria, page 9 read. Is this enough for you?
Well, I sit here this morning as a very, very angry Nigerian citizen. The impacted area, that's Angwa Rukuba in Jos, is a place that I visit. I have friends there, so I visit there every time. I know the place. It's always very, very busy in the evenings. And so when the report broke on the 29th, Sunday evening, Palm Sunday, I was shocked because that is a heavily Christian-dominated area in Jos North local government. It is a place that has never witnessed any attack before. But what is intriguing, what is shocking here is that a week or 2 weeks before this attack, a video trended, it was in the social media, it was everywhere, that where the Igbo traders are, the shops, it's a long stretch of shops, where one young man who was speaking Hausa language was threatening that once they broke the fast, that they were going to launch a very bloody attack on Angwa Rukuba area and the surrounding environment. Nobody took that seriously. I was surprised that with that kind of video, somebody putting a face to threatening the state, threatening to kill people, nobody took any steps. And now it happened on the 29th. As at yesterday, more than 30 are already dead. A woman, she died yesterday at Jos University Teaching Hospital. So the figures are rising. What baffles me this morning, as it would with any Nigerian that is concerned, because this is our country, is that we issue statements. The government will issue statements. Governor Motwang is issuing statements. The president is issuing statements. How many statements will the authorities issue when Nigerians are being slaughtered, right? Whether in their homes or they even come out to, a man said he came to buy something to feed his children who will be going to school the next day. And then people were just killed the way they were killed. A woman, the video is also trending, the only son was killed, and he held the body of the son, and she will not let go. Very gory sight. People were macheted, were shot, and now there's reactions. We have arrested the young man. How do you arrest that same individual who had threatened before now? He was not arrested before the attack. You are arresting him now, and I'm even surprised that the police commissioner in Plateau State, Basi Ewan, who was with the governor when he visited the attack scene, could not even mount roadblocks, whether, entering the place and exiting the place. And where are police detectives? Where is the DSS? So when people say Nigeria is a failing state, I really wonder. If you look at the global terrorism index, Nigeria is ranking 4th in the world as a terror-impacted country. So what are we doing to address this negative global rating on what's happening in our country? It is sad. I think the political class is just so concerned about 2027, how they can win elections, how people are defecting to the ruling APC. It is sad. And I think the president needs to sit up. It is not about garnering governors, garnering people to come to the APC and all of that. For the ADC, I just see all of them as the same. The faces you see across the political parties are familiar faces. These are individuals who have contributed to the ruinous state of the Nigerian state. And it is sad this morning. I feel very, very angry and sad because as a journalist, we report the news. The headlines this morning, almost all the papers reported it, and the killings will continue. So the empathy, the value for life in Nigeria is really not there anymore. We have individuals who are parading AK-47 rifles, assault rifles everywhere in this country, and they are left. Well, I won't say that the government is not addressing it. Our troops are trying, the security forces are trying, but I just think that there's something wrong somewhere that we are not able to address this problem. It is really, really sickening, and for Nigeria to become almost like a mockery in the Committee of Nations. When you introduce yourself as a Nigerian, people no longer take us seriously. It is really sad this morning, Kayode, Bukola, and Jeffrey. It's sad.
Indeed, and we also talked about how we're able to, transit in and out of those emotions. 1 minute we're expressing sadness and the other we're expressing joy, but we hope that we're not too removed from the feelings of those who are actually in the throes of the attacks, because this morning is another morning of sadness and agony for them. But we hope that we get out of this experience someday soon. Let's head to The Guardian now, which of course takes a departure from happenings in Plateau State for its big story. The Guardian reports the 2026 budget. NAS OK's 68.3 trillion naira budget shifts burden of funding execution to federal government. And so it brings the new appropriation figure to 68.3 trillion naira. When you see the borrowing spree of this administration, does it give you more confidence, about more funds allocated to critical sectors of the economy? Or are your, reasonings to the contrary, Mr. Akeria?
Well, for me, I do not think borrowing is a bad idea. Where the challenge is what do we use these monies for? Because if you want to juxtapose the yearly budget, the implementation of the budget with developments on the ground, whether it's in the education sector, it's in security, it's in health, it's on roads and all of the electricity, which can power industries and create employment, then that is where I see the challenge. Now, another $6 billion is being approved by the National Assembly for this government that has told everyone that they are making so much money. The states are having much money. So why are we still borrowing if Nigeria is making so much money? With the American, Israel, and Iran war, that has shut down the Strait of Hormuz in the Middle East. Nigeria is making more money. More crude is given to Dangote, so we are refining more. Dangote is possibly exporting refined products to other countries. So where is all this money? The projected amount per barrel for the current budget is about, I think, $65. Now, a barrel of oil is, the Brent crude, which is the Nigerian standard, is over $100 per barrel. So much money has come in. In the days of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, when Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was finance minister, we have the excess crude savings account, because the budget, if the budget puts the figure per barrel at, let's say, $60 per barrel, and then you are now selling at $100, we are saving $40. Under President Obasanjo, we were saving that amount for the rainy day. I think at some point, governors moved to say the money should be shared. So now this government is making so much money. I would think that the excess money that is being made should be deployed to building quality infrastructure for this country, address insecurity effectively. But if the military lacks equipment, buy more equipment for the military, and ensure that even our soldiers on the front line, our troops on the front line, get properly remunerated, including the DSS, the police, the civil defense, and all of that. Get properly paid, and not the officers that sit in the offices with their pot bellies, and for me, they don't really get much done. The men and women, the troops in the front line who are putting their lives on the line, they should get more, whether in terms of physical remuneration and equipment to take down these terrorists. So for me, it's not about borrowing. What the money is being used for is where the challenge is. The borrowings under this administration, honestly, it is worrisome. I think I looked at one report this morning. Nigeria is grossing about 115 trillion in debt. It is a huge sum of money that we are owing, whether creditor nations, the Bretton Woods, the World Bank, the IMF, the Chinese. We are owing almost everybody, yet Nigeria is one of the richest countries in Africa. So I do not know, reconciling our wealthy status with our poverty level in terms of how much we owe other nations, that becomes something for a different debate. But honestly, there's work to be done, and I think this government needs to do more for the Nigerian people.
Mr. Karaga, let's get to New Telegraph newspaper. And the stories, I think, way above the nameplate is where I want to focus on, because I think you've commented on the foreign debt. We also have our local debt. I think that's even higher than the foreign debt. When you look at what we have in T-bills and bonds issuance and all of that, although that is routine and repetitive and is way more structured. Besides, these are direct loans for the foreign ones. But if you look at the story just top there, PMS crisis, marketers flood Lagos jetties with 286.7 billion naira worth of product. Pump price crashes marginally. So the question people always ask, how come these imported products, sometimes they argue that it's way cheaper than what we get from Dangote refinery, so we may have to ask question of quality of product itself. But what do you make of this story?
Well, it's interesting. Nigerians are suffering. I'm one of them. Driving here this morning, I drove with, each time I'm driving, I keep looking at my fuel gauge. It's going down. So we spend a lot of money in buy fuel now. It is 1,300 naira for a liter. You know, so that is worrisome. If you juxtapose that against the national minimum wage, which the government still says is 70,000 naira or so. So Nigerians are poor. We have multi-dimensional poverty across board. The middle class has become completely eclipsed. It has been eliminated. Now we have the novo richie. You are either up there or just down there. So the purpose of government for the security and welfare of citizens. The welfare of Nigerians for now, it is nothing to speak about. It means that there should be more policy implementation to alleviate the suffering of Nigerians. So, well, it is good if we have more imported fuel coming in. We want to see the prices come down immediately, but particularly at the pump prices. They should come down immediately. What we see in this country is that once prices go up, it's difficult to come down. Even when the conditions that initially gave rise to the increase in prices has disappeared. You still see Shylock traders, people, capitalists who want to cash in on the situation. So maybe from this morning till evening, we want to see the prices coming down significantly so that at least Nigerians can have a breather.
Incidentally, the president had said, let the poor breathe, right, when he came to power. So that breather is very much needed right now, Mr. Carrier. This Nigeria is next also leads with the fresh $6 billion loan, which says fuels concerns over rising debt. And I should say there's also rising taxes, or at least increased tax coverage, right? And for Nigerians, a lot of people were racing for the deadline, which was yesterday. But you see the riders, budget rises to 68.3 trillion as NAS rolls over, extended 2025 as well, 7.7 trillion obligations. Plenary adjourned to April the 21st. That's exactly 20 days from now. And opposition slams approval, warns of oversight. And we've talked about this, and we'll still have a proper breakdown on the show today. But I just should mention this. I wonder what you make of it. El-Rufai drops case against Abuja magistrate in 1 billion naira rights suit. So it was also arraigned yesterday by the ICPC. Prior to that, he lost his mother. Now we saw government officials, the vice president, we saw the APC chair visiting him. How do you see all of this playing out, Mr. Carrier? Because he's with the ADC, as some say, has he been wooed to the APC? But how do you see the APC swinging this, the government? I'm talking about the relationship with Nasir El-Rufai, of course.
Well, the former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, is having a big bite of what the state can offer. At some point, he was on the table dining with these same individuals until they came after him. I think he has learned his lessons. He's been out of prison. He's been in and out of prisons. Lost his mother while he's in detention. He was released, on compassionate ground to go bury his mother. Now he's back facing the charges. It simply shows that, well, first and foremost, nobody's above the law. But again, when you say nobody's above the law, who are those being targeted? Nigerians are also under the impression that possibly El-Rufai is being targeted because he is opposing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Yes, he is the one that has created the environment for him to... I'm just choosing my words this morning now because at some point El-Rufai was to be a minister under this administration. He offered himself, he campaigned for the president. He gave all the reasons why the president should be elected. While he was governor of Kaduna State, he has gone down in history as the first governor in the country to moot the idea of a Muslim ticket. His deputy was a Muslim, and so he brought that to the national level. And then today we have a Muslim ticket. The president's a Muslim, the vice president's a Muslim. So all of these, they tinkered with them, and then the rest of the citizens are just like onlookers. And so he's holding the shorter end of the stick now. I hope it's just a lesson to all that. Yeah, but with regards to the National Assembly passing budgets, and not doing proper scrutiny, I think that the 10th Assembly that we have now, I just hope, according to the English philosopher Edward Cleaver, the other part of the problem or part of the solution. I want this National Assembly to stop the cross-carpeting of politicians, moving from one political party to the other. Many Nigerians fought hard to enthrone this democracy, fought very, very hard. Civil society organizations, journalists, lawyers, people died to ensure that Nigeria has democracy today. But what the ruling elite, the political class is doing now, that is not the flavor of democracy that we wanted. How can politicians, when it suits them, they stoke crisis in their party, and then they give that same reason as why they are defecting to other parties. So there should be a law in the National Assembly which must be immediate to safeguard and protect our democracy, to ensure that whether there's crisis in your party or not, parties should be built and founded on ideology. You cannot leave your party. You have to stay there. That way, I'm sure that the issue of the ruling elite staying back in their party to resolve their crisis, that the institution of party politics will then become strengthened. But once that is not addressed, we can't have stabilization in our political process. It's a warring process in our democracy. So all of these issues are the problems created by the ruling elites and the political class, and they just have to solve it. Because Nigerians are no longer fools. They are watching very closely. 2027 is right at the door. And I'm just hoping that Nigerians have become sufficiently conscientized, exposed to the realities of what is confronting them, that I also consider as existential issues.
There you go. This, of course, will still form a major part of the conversations on the program today. But it's important to note that everyone's role right now will be talked about. And the big question, as you said, is will they refer to you as part of the solutions or part of the problems that Nigeria experienced? There's still a couple more stories on the front page of this Nigeria. JAMB warning candidates to beware of WhatsApp score upgrade scams. I mean, maybe we're old school, but what does that even mean, right?
I don't understand myself.
WhatsApp score upgrade scams. But it's important to reiterate. I mean, gone are those days. WhatsApp was not a thing when we were writing JAMB. So I'm worried, who is going to be offering you score upgrade in JAMB on WhatsApp, and you'll fall for it? It's not like software upgrade. It's the work that you did in JAMB. Mr. Carrier.
No, in Nigeria, anything happens. Technology is supposed to to be used to, to elevate the quality of life and the standard of living. But you see some individuals in society also taking advantage of technology, using it in the negative. So perhaps this is just one of it. I'm hearing it for the first time. It's a bit strange. WhatsApp, you use it to upgrade jam scores. I know of the smart glasses. The Gen Zs, they are using all kinds of technology to bypass processes. The smart glasses, you wear it, somebody somewhere, can then be speaking to you, and then you can just hear with your ears, and then maybe giving you answers to the questions that you are supposed to be answering and all kinds of things. But I think JAM knows better. The JAM management must have received intelligence that this is what is playing out in the public domain. Maybe there are some smart individuals out there who are promising JAM candidates that they can use WhatsApp technology to upgrade their scores. So this is just it's a precautionary measure warning potential jambites not to fall for that kind of trap. So it is a preemptive measure, and I think that those who are writing jam will take cognizance of that. It's also part of the gamut of the Nigerian system where people want to cut corners, and eventually these individuals will also become leaders tomorrow. So the entire road system is a circus. We are just dancing around the circus. So individuals who are caught perpetrating this kind of crime must be brought to justice and dealt with ruthlessly to serve as a deterrent to others, and to strengthen our institutions and safeguard society from fraudulent practices.
Someone said, Mr. Carrier, that this is the new school. For old school people, they may not understand these things. Or what is wrong is wrong. It's important to reiterate that. I know we've come from a time where JAMBA had controversy around the result last year. So many people are falling for it as a result of what happened. They're saying, well, we can help you just get a higher score based off what happened last year. But Mr. Igor Carrier, we have to thank you so much for your time. This is still a time that Nigerians are going through a lot, but I talk of those in Plateau State with security, or everyday Nigerians trying to buy petrol. And that's exactly where we're going to next. So, Mr. Akaria, thank you once again. I wish you the best.
It's always a pleasure, Kari. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, we'll take a moment now, and when we return, see all of those talking points, pain points. That's where we're headed to right now. We'll be right back.